said, greetings from sunny Florida. I'm Rio. Judy said, I would love to receive a healing. I am Judy in beautiful Palm Desert.
Oh, wonderful.
And Nancy said, would love a reading, but have to leave at 1 o'clock.
Right, got it. Okay.
Tell me when I'm caught up to what you have. Julie said, I would love a healing.
Julie. Yeah, that's
says
right.
I would love a healing today.
Okay, good. I'm caught up. So I was missing Nancy, Francine, and Judy, and then Rio I have because she popped up later. So, okay, good. Woo! All right, so welcome everyone. I went ahead and started the recording, and this is Akasha. Welcome to BlissLife Global Healing Series, my podcast BlissLife on iTunes or at nanakasha.com or show.nanakasha.com or something. And we've been having this amazing, it's a little more than a month now, going on a month and a half of, let me mute you, of interviewing different healers, different people who do different kinds of modalities in muting everything.
Let's go.
There you go. And so that we could highlight more energy healing modalities, energy medicine for everybody. And so the last week and this week, we've been doing live healing. So there's this one with Liora today. We're going to get started right away. And then tomorrow I'm doing another one. I did have a guest, they can't come. And so what I'm going to do is do readings. So it'll be live again if you want to come back. And I'm going to focus specifically on looking at your energy field in terms of your soul purpose. What are the blocks and what are new openings? Because what I've seen with a lot of my clients and students is that we're having new interesting openings from this cleanse and from many other things. So let me go fix this. I keep hearing people chat, and mute. And let me go mute on entry. Okay, I don't know why it's doing that, but so today we're going to, Liora has graciously agreed to come on and do some healings. And I want to share with you that when I met Liora, we had an amazing conversation. And right behind me through that wall is my soulmate, Chris. And he's had a pretty tough year with his seizure and everything. And she started to tune into him and said, can I do a healing on him? She did something. I went in there. I said, do you feel anything? He said, yes. And then he went to bed for the rest of the day. Not in a bad way, but it was very profound. And you could really tell that something had shifted. So I just wanted to give that little feedback that this is well worth your time to be here today. And what I'm going to do is Liora and I will chat for a few minutes. She can share a little bit more about you, maybe share what she does. I don't think you'll mind, but I was asking her, for the email copy and for the posts on social media to tell people to come today. I was like, what do you call these healings? Is it a soul healing? Is it a this? Is it that? All these groovy names we come up with. And she says, I call it ... healing. So I loved that. And so we don't have any really juicy title for you, but you're going to really enjoy today. And because Liora, make sure you get the interviews. They're all on YouTube. They're all on the podcasts. And if you want to get the gifts and have everything in one place, we have a beautiful page for you. You just go to nanakasha.com/BlissLife Global Healing, all one word, and you'll get right on there. They'll give you a passcode and you can get into there. These live healings are going up there as well. And but her initial one, which I highly recommend that you listen to, was called Put Love In Where Love Is Missing. So I thought that I would open the Infinity Healing Chamber today specifically with the intent of bringing in love and giving everyone a love infusion while Liora is then graciously doing the healings. So, so Liora, if you want to share a little bit about what you do and what to expect, and then when you're done, I'll open the chamber, we'll get the energy moving, and then we'll go ahead and start with the healings.
Okay, thank you. So hi everybody, people I can see, people I can't. I just want to say Linnea is on here and I'm super excited about that. Hi honey. Linnea, we call each other Twinny. And So, because I have a blessed with a lot of people in my life that I have a lot in common with, but this one and I, down to the quirkiest oddball things, basically we were twins separated at birth with different mothers. So, and Linnea and her husband, Chuck, are course leaders with Zoetic Workshops. Zoetic Workshops is a company. We have a curriculum of courses that train people in meditation and other life-altering techniques. And it's a lot of other life-altering techniques. I probably underline that piece of it. People do absolutely participate from all over, both in this country, I'm in the United States, and out of this country. We've had Guatemala and Honduras and Mexico and Spain and England and India at this point in terms of other countries. So wherever you are, you can participate. Some people fly here to do courses. The first level course can be done on Zoom or in person. The other courses are all in person. So it is a curriculum of 5 courses. The 5th one, we haven't done the pilot for yet, except the reality is it's been getting done in pieces live with people. There's leadership training teams. So in fact, it has been done. The courses are really gentle. They're highly interactive. It's very much about you, the person sitting in your underwear, assuming you're wearing underwear. And don't tell me, because I don't actually need to know. So, you never know what's going to come out of this mouth, I swear. The healing piece of it, I'm going to say that, well, I'm going to do workshops. We've been around for 20 years. We're going to turn 20 years old in July, which I find a little, like, I can't wrap my head around that. I can't believe that I've been doing something for 20 years nonstop like that. But it is, in fact, ceaselessly evolving and fascinating. And as I say when I train people, there's always further east to go. That's for everybody, myself, the work I have the privilege of doing, and everybody else too. Okay, the healing part of it. I personally don't believe that I am a healer. I don't believe that anybody is. I have been doing healing work since I was a kid. And it's very clear to me that healing energy comes through me, but that doesn't make me a healer. The draw is from something that's way, way, way beyond anything that I would call me or I or Liora or whatever. So I can say it's about opening up the channel for you and with you. And ultimately my experience is that it's you healing you with the universe through me. It's like, how big can this copper wire be? That's basically it. It's just being a conduit. I have a wellness center for anybody who is local to the Baltimore area, Baltimore, Maryland. The wellness center got built because we needed to have our own place for workshops. So I think that's kind of it. I want to ask Linnea, what am I missing? Linnea, tell me what else I should say. We do coaching, we do it. That's okay? All right.
That's good.
All right. Is that good enough?
Yes, wonderful. So
I want to say it's an honor to be here. As Nan said, when we first met, it was supposed to be an hour-long interview. It turned into a 3.5-hour time together. It was just the best. So completely smitten with Nan. I've taught thousands of people. Nan has taught thousands of people. And it was just so, oh my gosh, just a total high coming into each other's world again. So I'm looking forward to getting into all kinds of mischief with her. Yeah. That's it. I can tell you, I honestly have already fallen in love with everybody's face who I can see, and I'd have to go to the list to look at the names, but there's a connection in there. And I'm open for questions. Anybody can ask anything they want at any time. I'm really just, I actually prefer that. So I'm good with that.
Good. Yes, this is exciting. And I agree with you. I'm not a fan of the word healing or healer. However, it's what's used. So,
Yeah.
when it comes to writing copy or, sharing or explaining things to people. And yet, yes. And what I think happens when you decide that you want to channel healing energy, let's say, is that you work on yourself, right? You work on becoming a clear and open channel so that the purest energy can come through you. You're not putting your own opinions and judgments and fears into it, and you're able to allow that energy to come through you. The really beautiful thing is if you spend time really working on yourself, whether your intention is to become a healer, quote unquote, or use this in whatever your work, your soul purpose work is, you become a more fine-tuned instrument both for yourself and for other people. So it's such a beautiful journey. And we have a light body school and infinity light weaving, and I know we've got some people here from that too, and it's so amazing. I know that you have this experience too, Liora, to watch people as they come in. I always say this information is for you first. You use it, you apply it, you go through the process, you go through the transformation. And then at some point it begins to emanate from you, or you begin to feel that opening to allow the energy to come through you for other people. However, if you're doing it in a way that is optimal, you won't be getting exhausted, right? You're going to be channeling energy, receiving some of that yourself, and not using your energy. So I want to encourage you as you move into this healing space, which will open now, and as you move into having a session with Liora here today, relax, be clear, open, ready, an excellent receiver, and do your best not to analyze, not to try to figure out. Instead of going, is it happening? What's happening? Go like, breathe into yourself and just observe. You know, I always talk about how we have 360 senses and they're waking up. Many of them have come online for many people. And when you sit back and you just go, I'm waiting for a pin to drop. I'm just listening. I'm just watching. I'm an open channel. It'll be phenomenal for whatever you receive. And the beautiful thing is, I'm going to go ahead now and set up the Infinity Healing Chamber, which is something that we use in my school and in my classes. And it's something that I've created from many different schools, many different modalities, teachers, shamans, and things that I've worked with over the years, sacred geometry. And it came together and it is such a sacred space. So you don't really have to worry about a lot of the things we just said, because as you entered this call, you came into the chamber. And right now I'm going to go ahead, tune you into it, walk you through. So you want to be somewhere comfortable, sit or laying down where you can relax. And you can go ahead now and relax into this moment. And Nancy, if you're still here when we get to these, I hope I will call on you first, okay? And alrighty. So if you want to just relax and take a deep breath, take it in through your nose very slowly. And I want you to follow it. Follow that energy up over your brain. And then let it pour down your throat and into your heart. Hold it as long as you can and feel it expanding, cleansing, cleaning. And then when you're ready, let it go out of your mouth very slowly, and watch as that breath, as a wave of light and energy, washes down through you, cleansing and clearing what's no longer serving you. As you're letting that breath continue to move through you, I want you to hold in your heart, or say out loud if you can, I am ready and willing. I am open and receptive. And just notice that's a command to yourself, to your light body, to your energy field, as things begin to shift. Perhaps you've been busy, or you're thinking, or you're worried, or you're sick, or some other drama is happening. So just relax. And now take another deep breath in through your nose and feel this one go up higher, 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 right out your crown, all the way up to your 13th chakra. And when you let it go, feel that waterfall of light and energy coming down through every layer, all your subtle bodies, through your chakras, down through your body. Again, giving permission to cleanse, clear, and release all the energies that no longer serve you. I want you to now begin to expand your awareness a little bit outside your body. Tune in to what's around you. You might originally perceive what's in your room, and I want you to tune in a little bit more and begin to feel this infinity healing chamber that's all around you, activated at infinity. Above and below you is a cone of golden light made from the gold ray. You might feel that warm, golden spiritual sunlight on you as a conscious, loving energy infuses you with its codes, with its consciousness, with its energy, with its healing. And also gently vacuums out, removes from you all that you're releasing. Clearing your mind, clearing your communication center, clearing your heart, and your central sun right in your belly, all the way down to your feet. And now you're going to feel and sense that you are wrapped in the all-seeing eye. This space is so profound, so sacred, so pure, so clear. At infinity, we're at zero, between the worlds, in balance. The heaviness of your worries, your fears, your blocks, any energy that's been stuck is gently moving whatever place is optimal for it to move. Inside this space, open your heart, and this time breathe directly into your heart. Feel it coming in, and open that heart and say in there, I am an excellent receiver, fully here now, and a clear and open channel to my soul signature frequency. All around us, encompassing this entire light structure, built on sacred geometry, with conscious energies and support from all realms, is a sphere of white light made from the flower of life. Tune into it. It's spinning at infinity. And that flower of life pattern, holding every sacred geometrical shape in it that forms all life in any form. And that white light, it's glistening, glowing, moving. Again, it's a conscious, spherical consciousness, energy that is here to assist you today. And in this amazing and beautiful space is the Light Body Healing Council. Saturday, we'll be doing a live healing, tuning into each of these beautiful entities. But for now, just feel these gorgeous, benevolent, loving energies. Thoth, Kuan Yin, Isis, Gaia, Merlin, Kuku Khan, all the elementals, Saint Germain, Horus, the dolphins. Feel all these, your higher self, your I am presence, and your body elemental. We give great thanks to be here today in this beautiful and amazing moment and space, gathering together to align with our highest good, with that which is optimal for each of us today at this moment, and to continue to remind our bodies, minds, emotions, an entire light field of our soul signature frequency, that optimal rate and state, that state where we flow with our purpose and mission through any up and down that life presents. And we receive an infinite amount of love, light, source energy. Feeling this chamber alive, moving, connecting, creating a space within you to open up to what's the optimal place for you to rise to today. And we'll go ahead and activate each of you on this call, or each of you that come and watch later. Activate your light body at optimal speed for you at this time. And again, just feel the energy shifting and moving very gently, clearing and open. We ask that this space be a sacred space for divine healing for each of us, and that this healing moves out through the planet, through the earth, through the trees and the plants and the waters, through the people and the animals, out to the sun and the moon, and through all levels of life here at this time. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And the last thing we're going to do is activate what we call a Love Infusion Power Program. In Light Body School, we have things called power programs. These are like a remedy that are multiple elements put together. So if someone gave you a combination remedy and said, you know, there's all these different things in there, here, take this. And so they're pre-programmed energy. And the love infusion is the state of love, pure love. And it's vibrant and alive and glowing. So we're going to activate a love infusion power program here in this sacred infinity healing chamber. 13, 20, 33, 13, 20, 33, 13, 20, 33. There we go. So relax and be ready to receive and bask. Even if you don't receive a one-on-one healing today with Liora, you're in this space, you're receiving all of this. All of these entities are working right now with you, and Liora's healings on everyone else go into the space. So if there's something that's optimal for you, you will know and you will take it. Remember, all of these sessions are for you. Don't try to analyze it, especially right now. Relax and receive. Okay, Liora, would you like to start with Nancy? Okay, I'm not. Let's see, did we lose somebody? Oop, looks like we lost. No, we didn't. I'm gonna ask to unmute. For some reason we can't hear you.
There you go.
Hey, there we go. Okay, so hopefully you can go ahead and work with Nancy right now. She's got to leave in a couple minutes.
Wait, is that okay, Nancy?
Yeah, I'll take the time.
Okay,
Okay, great. Thank you.
It's worth it.
So you were asking for a reading or a healing? I don't remember. I think you said reading. Yeah. it's the very first thing that comes up for me is this is definitely not your first time at the rodeo. You've been at this for a while, huh?
Yes, for
Yeah,
about 50 years I've been working on this.
it's very clear.
It's an
Um,
asthma thing.
can you say that again, please?
Asthma.
Asthma.
Yeah.
Okay, so I kept hearing autoimmune disease. I kept hearing that autoimmune, but asthma actually is related to that in breathing. So the okay, so this is terrible. I just realized usually when I do work like this, I do it very much one-on-one, and this is now in a very public format, and I'm not sure you want me to say what I would say.
It's okay.
Okay, you're not the best housekeeper. And
Housekeeper.
I beg your pardon?
I have a housekeeper.
Yeah, it's not very thorough in terms of like dust and uh, you need to clean your environment. You actually need to have a cleaner environment. That's one piece of this. And then there is this place that I see trauma from when you were a child. I don't want to go into publicly at all. I actually really don't want to do that. So, but I see that there are places where you stop breathing. You literally just stop breathing.
When I was born,
Yeah.
my mother had something, a breathing thing.
Right. And it's very clear and it's impacted you. And so anytime that you, it's like this, it's like what I'm doing. Oh my God. So it's anytime you're faced with something where you have a question mark, it lands in you more fearfully than it does other people. So instead of it landing as a question mark, it lands as fear. But you literally stop breathing, like you stop before you can start again. Like you have to go through something to resolve within yourself how it is okay or where to go or what to do before you like start to breathe again. So it's actually like a physical pattern in you that you've been doing for a really, really, really long time. And there's a place where you have these beats, and the work for you to do is to actually notice when you stop, because when you stop, when you have a question mark like what should I do next or how is this going to go, or you live a life that happens to have a lot of flow in it. You have a lot of seamlessness in your life. It's really beautiful. You're very loved. You are very loving. You love to do for other people, but you're actually like surrounded with a lot of people who really just think the world of you, and for good reason. And but there are still these stop gaps, like what do I do? And these little beats of what do I do? You literally stop breathing. So notice when you do that and make yourself breathe again.
I am a shamanic practitioner.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
I've been for 30 years.
Yeah. So the other thing I want to give you is actually a yoga thing to do for your asthma.
Okay.
I need to move around. Hold on a second. Because I need to stand up for you to see this. You can do it sitting down, but I won't. I don't know if I can. Yeah, I'm going to stand up. A little bit of rearranging here. Hold on. Let's see if I can get this so you can see me. I'm just going to back up enough. Yeah. Okay. My hand. Let's get that down just a little bit. Yeah, we might have to do this back and forth a little bit. You're going to start with your hands here and the palm mudras here.
Mm-hmm.
And breathing in, I'm going to run you through all of this, and it's bringing the hands down and then like a circle around your body. So what you're going to do is breathe down and inhale And when your hands get to the top, as you bring your hands down to here, you're going to have your mouth in a really tiny, tiny aperture, like you're blowing into a balloon, like really tiny. Okay, yeah. Okay, and exhale as slowly as you can. So it's inhaling. And as you do this, it's literally drawing white light like a circle around you. So your palms come together at the top, and then exhaling. See if you can slow that breath down a little bit. Okay.
Sorry?
So that, I'm sorry. See if you can slow your exhale down.
I can't.
You can't. Okay. No, I understand that. And by the way, I have asthma, so I actually do know what I'm talking about with this. Okay.
It took me 3 exhales.
No, I get it. I totally get it. At each breath that you do this way, do what you can to slow down the exhale as much as you possibly can. Okay.
Okay.
So starting here again. We're going to start here at the heart, not here, but down at the heart. Inhaling, pure white light around you, slowing down that inhale. Exhale as slowly as you can with a really super, super tight aperture with your lips. Good, that was slower. Okay, I'm going to do it again one more time. Okay, breathing in, pure white light around you. Slowly as you can, super tight lips. Control that breath going out of you. Slow, 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 slow. Really good. Okay, now just relax and breathe. How's that feel?
Sorry.
How does that feel?
Good.
Yeah. Okay. So there's something that happens on a pure muscular level with that, along with the energetic level. I'm going to get reoriented in here. Where breathing out like that and breathing in like that, as strange as it sounds, forces, because it doesn't sound like that should go together, but it forces the muscles around your lungs to relax.
Oh.
Okay. In addition to that, however, what it does is it relaxes what's inside and actually dissipates the congestion that the asthma is. So there's a dissipation as all of the muscles around your lungs are relaxing, the lungs themselves can relax, and inside it allows that congestion to dissipate.
Great.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's my pleasure. I have passed this on to children and adults alike. I have watched parents go, it's really effective, and I really do know what I'm talking about with it because I've had really severe asthma since I'm 3.
That's
okay.
Fantastic.
So
Yeah,
much.
that's a great one.
But anyway, this really works.
I'm sorry?
Okay. This really works.
Okay.
But the other piece of it is really to, on a personal level, is to notice when you hold your breath, because I think you do it more than you realize.
I never noticed that.
How about that?
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'd just like to add one thing for you, Nancy. What I was getting was, sorry, I don't know why my phone is talking, was around grief, that there's, energetically, to me, it looks like liquid in the lungs, might be congestion, but it's sort of heavy and sitting at the bottom. So that ability to take a really deep, full breath and hold it and control it. So one of the things you might want to look at is where you're carrying grief. That happens to be my wheelhouse. But also do some infinity weaving. So just you trace an infinity symbol. If you do that, in any direction, but if you start here, you can do your whole body. I was doing a tower weave on you during that. But if you do this, okay, the problem is congestion. I'm very familiar with inflammation, lack of capacity. This is lack of movement, right? Stagnant, sluggish energy, or other elements in the physical body, mental, emotional. And so I would do this at least once or twice a day, and you can go all the way up and back down. And you're going to feel some movement when you do that. Also, I'm not sure if this is going to come across, but you can do it other directions, right? So this is crossing and then through the body this way. If you just did this, just feel you're moving it. Feel that you're moving it. The other thing you can do with infinity weaving is as you weave out, you can imagine that you're reaching into the infinite field and grabbing the energy. I say the flavor that's optimal for you, whatever light or energy, bringing it in, pouring that in there. And then as you cross and go out the other direction, you can imagine that you're actually gathering up whatever energy's in there that no longer serves you. And then you take that out, you leave that, and you bring some more energy back in. And if you feel like it, you can go in every direction to really create a lot of movement. Okay.
As far as grief, 21 years ago, I lost my son, my 36-year-old son. And, but the asthma started when I was 20.
Yeah.
And by this time I'm whatever age, I forgot, a lot older. But it did start at 20. But that's a long time before he passed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like years and years.
Well, and there's multiple grieves that we have, right? Places that it comes from. So you might look around what was happening or what was culminating or what was beginning at that time as well. But it does feel like you have, you're carrying a heaviness that's, it feels almost like it's attracted, right? More grief. And so it's come with you into this life. And there's a little bit in there from your son as well, but it's more of a conglomeration. So, and I want to send you a big hug because my daughter died 23 years ago. So I understand. Oh, thank you, sweetie.
I'm going to add one piece to the grief, if I may.
Yeah.
Grief is grief is grief is grief. It is unlike any emotion, any other emotion. It is one that does not, I mean, we have a number of emotions that don't flow. Grief is one of them. As Akasha was saying, there are many things that grief is related to. And I did a very long study around grief. I will say unequivocally, as harsh as this is, and I'm not somebody who has lost a live child, but I am somebody who has had, I don't know, I had like a bajillion miscarriages. So I had 7 miscarriages. And have lost people in my life and whatever, but the reality is grief as we associate it with the death or departure of somebody, it's not the only thing that is grief. We grieve loss of dreams. We grieve endings of relationships. All of this is inside the world of grief. And the reality is how we experience grief in losing a child, which I can't think of anything harder than that personally. But it is as an experience the same as a 2-year-old whose favorite toy is broken irreparably and they will never have that toy again. And that sense of grief is literally exactly the same. And how it is that we, and everybody who's lost a child goes, yep, and they get it. And people who haven't lost a child usually go, oh, how can you compare that? But people who've lost children actually get this. It is really the same. So the piece of that to go to is really to back up in your life, to look at what is it that you have in fact grieved, in addition to your son. And I'm very deeply sorry about the loss of your son. That being said, there's definitely grief from before that. And I can see a couple of relationships where you've lost a boyfriend, lost a girlfriend, like that. That if you had a way where you could get that back again, it feels like it would mend part of your soul. So grief, the elements of grief is it comes around, and grieving is something really to go through. It's like the children's book, going on a bear hunt. You can't go over it. You can't go under it. You've got to go through it. So there's a going through it to the other side of it, and then you're done. But grief, when you're done until it comes back again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And then you get to go through it. And you go through it until you're on the other side of it, and then you're done until it comes back again.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
But I would like to invite a new paradigm in, because we are moving into a new world.
Absolutely.
We are creating it. So I would like to invite us to all be willing to let the grief transmute into some other kind of a power, so that when it comes up, it's not that heaviness, right, in the can't breathe type of thing. So wonderful. Okay, so
allowing grief to be part of the flow. Instead of it being the stop, it's just letting grief be part of the flow, letting ourselves go through grief rather than not.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, sweetie.
Nice. It's really lovely to meet you.
All right, Francine.
Francine. Francine, you look like this goddess up there. When I first saw you, I was like, oh, it's like this Amazon goddess. I don't know how tall you are, but you look like a goddess.
Where is she?
Thank you.
Yeah.
I hope my background isn't very noisy.
Not right now. Sounds
Okay.
good.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, thank you all for your energy and your clearing. Definitely is appreciated. I've signed on for healing. I think there may be some circulation issues. I'm not altogether sure, maybe some blockages. I did have a mini stroke 4 years, maybe 3.5 years ago. And I'm just, adjusting to letting go of the anxiety around that. And also how to tap into my own healing energies without, looking for the response, and having all the mind chatter around it. Oh, well, did I make the lights flicker? Or, that sort of theatric.
Awesome.
Yeah, and there may be other healing that is needed that maybe I just don't see.
So first of all, before I go another beat and get distracted, the picture over there of Alan, that is my beautiful man. He said he would join us today. That's my partner.
All right.
Hi, Alan. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for being here, honey.
Glad to be with you guys.
Thanks.
That's my husband's name also, Alan.
Well, there you go. Obviously, all the best men are named Alan. Okay. It's kind of interesting, actually. As it came out of my mouth, I got alerted. So I said, my beautiful man. And it indicates like an ownership kind of thing. And as I heard it, and then I got slammed from behind, I don't own this man, obviously. But I actually see that that's part of what's happening in you, is you have a lot of my ownership going on. My husband, my house, my things, my work and healing. There's a lot of I in there. And there is no I. Oh my God. Okay, hold on. So I'm just going to talk, and I'll talk until it stops talking through me. I is only in 3 dimensions. There is no I when you are 4 or more dimensions out, 13, 19, 27 dimensions. The I does not exist. It only exists inside of ego. Ego is entirely into it for only itself, itself and only itself. And it's all about survival and survival of its own self. If there is nothing else that ego has or is for. And that is where the I is. And the I has opinions. There are tons of opinions. All of our opinions live inside the I. There is nothing that is opinion outside of the I. Outside of that box, opinion does not exist. And there is inside of that, any words that we have in our language, at least in English, doesn't have the lack of you, me, I, him, her, them, us, we, over there, here. It, as opposed to it literally being one, being all one. One is all, and all is one. That includes you. It can't exclude you. That's impossible. A couple of people here look at it from a religious point of view as well. And inside of, if God is everything, does that mean everything but you? How could that be? That's not possible. If God is everything, that's everything. As in everything. So it can't mean instead of or excluding you. And that you is only you as you pulled away inside of illusion that there is an I when there is no I. I only exists inside of illusion. There is no I. There is no my healing or my access to healing or my access to the healing that comes through me trying to clean it up better and better. There's just simply no my. It doesn't exist. Not really. So in being one that is all that is you, what you call you, the stroke is done. It was amazingly caught very early, apparently, and you are massively healed, which is incredible. What you are looking to do is to trust yourself, but there is no self to trust if there is no I. So it's simply trusting what is that you know is. When you know what is, you do know that. That's all there is. Outside of I, outside that box where I exists, in the lower dimensions in which that is illusion, outside of illusion, in that flow, being as you are one. Trust becomes kind of like breathing. There isn't anything except what is. And what is, and anything that you would put on or I would put onto the word after what is, would then become opinion and flump you right back into that box where ego and I exist. Yeah. So when you look to trust yourself, take a pause. And remember, you are not doing this anyway. That's it. Does that help?
Yes. 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 Being more open to that which is, that all is oneness, and there isn't anything to quote unquote worry about.
Now you sound like Alan. My Alan, right?
And I think that that's very related to the circulation right, that you were talking about, the lack of flow. What I see is this is almost like a sphere around your heart chakra, quite large, you know, in every direction, comes up to the chin. So it includes the throat. And it's, it looks as much like a wall, you know, a protective thing, more than just a boundary to keep you safe and to define yourself within. But it doesn't allow the flow. It doesn't allow the circulation from your higher self, from your, you know, from all these other places that can bring information. Remember, your throat is your communication center, not just for voice. And that flow down into the heart and also up. So I would say, looking at that circulation, again, the same thing. Your heart chakra, as well as your heart, physical heart, is for circulation. Just many different lifetimes of energy. So focusing on that heart chakra, expanding, like Liora said, outside of, I want to trust myself. Who am I? What can I do? It's a beautiful time for that, right? To expand yourself, relax, and trust what is, and that you can be in flow, circulating with what is. And then there's an infinite supply of what is that can come to you.
How is fear related to that?
It is. Francine, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. Could you just take a breath? Let that go. And let your consciousness drop into your heart. As whatever I was saying was going on, quotes, whatever was being said through me was being said, and as Akasha was doing what she was doing during that, and vice versa, as she was speaking whatever was coming through her and I was doing. All I could feel is that you actually do feel your hands vibrating at this point, very clearly. And that the circulation, thank you for the validation, and that the circulation is most definitively there. And if you pause for a moment, you can actually feel this in your body. You can feel your blood flowing.
Yes.
Yes. It is the natural order of you. So that healing has taken place, and all that is there for you is to maintain. It's kind of like starting off with a A+ in class, and then all you have to do is keep it. You don't have to do anything to earn it. You've already got it. It's the natural state of who you are.
Yeah. I definitely feel that. And I guess the desire is to also promote healing without, for everyone, you know, we're in a great place of need for healing. Not just the greater community, but even my own personal community with family and local community, that sort of thing. But I guess, you know, I just need to spend some time being, so that I don't get all wrapped up in, you know, am I good enough? You know, am I powerful enough to provide what others need? You know, I see that as an extension of myself and of work that needs to be done. But there's perhaps the ego, you know, questioning the I, and can I do it? Am I good enough to do it? You know, am I, have I tapped in enough?
Are you?
Good question.
I'm asking you right now.
I don't think so.
Okay, good. So here's the thing. You are not going to heal the world. You're not supposed to heal the world. Nobody can heal the world by themselves. It's impossible. Okay. You get to do the part that you can do.
Okay.
It's also irresponsible to not have your feet on the ground when you can.
But say that again.
It's irresponsible to not have your feet on the ground when you can.
Mm.
Nobody, let's do this. It's in the domain of integrity.
Mm-hmm.
Much larger conversation, I'll bring it down to as little as I can, but that anytime you or I or anybody is out of integrity at any level, whether it's personally or between a you and a me, or between, whatever your concept of God, universal consciousness, whatever is, and yourself, your soul and yourself, any breach of integrity anywhere, I said I was going to do X and didn't, even if it's within yourself, there's suffering. Actually, the breach of integrity is the source of all suffering.
Mm-hmm.
And there are birthrights that we have in who we are. One of it is we are absolutely born loving and being loved. I don't know a single baby who's wondering inside of itself, what do I need to do in order to be lovable enough? No baby does that.
Yeah.
No baby says, what do I have to do to earn love?
Right. Right.
Okay.
Right.
And you didn't either. All right.
Right. Right. Yeah, that's a good word.
On the other side of it going, scheming, what can I do in order to give love and prove that I love? And nobody's doing that, okay? We're born already loving. We're born already loved, for real.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Even children who are not necessarily wanted, even they are already born with love, and it's a birthright. We have a few really key birthrights. One of the other birthrights is that we want to make a difference in the lives of other people. We do. We want to do something outside of ourselves, more than ourselves. We innately know there is not just a myself. This is going to bring the circle all the way back to the beginning. There is something more than a you and a me. Knowing that there is more than I, whatever I is in the definition, and whatever the ego is for that person. Whatever that is, there's something more than that. And when we don't fulfill on being those birthrights, loving, being loved, making a difference in the world with other people, when we don't do that as this natural inheritance of just because we are born, because it was there before, it'll be there after, then what we're left with is a sense of incredible dissatisfaction and suffering. We suffer when there's a breach of integrity.
Breach of integrity. Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Wow. I'm glad you said that even today. Okay, well, Fran, you shouldn't eat that sugar, and that's the first thing you reach for. So, to bring it very,
Yeah, it's very personal. It is, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So when you do that, there's suffering.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And then you and I get to beat ourselves up, and how fun is that? Right? And we do it so well, we've gotten very practiced at it, etc. But the thing is, what you can do in the world, you take a look at what happened with, Minneapolis, or, anything, because it's just the latest in a long string of what's happened, and it didn't stop there even inside that week.
Yeah.
Okay, with the protests and the rallies and the whatever, it is a much larger conversation and consciousness at this point. And if you belong as a part of that, and you know that you belong as a part of that, what you have to remember is that you belong as a part of that. You are not all of that. You never were, you never are supposed to be. If I is a mythology and there is no I, and you extrapolate that, then you can't do anything by yourself. I can't, nobody can. We need each other.
Mm-hmm.
We really do need each other.
Mm-hmm.
We cannot do
Thank you.
Beautiful, yeah.
And nobody gets to do it by themselves, and nobody's supposed to do it by themselves. That is a myth.
Yeah.
Okay. And the big conditioning, we all have that. I'm not good enough. I have to do more. I have to achieve more. Why haven't I done more? Then I carry the guilt because I haven't been good enough. And then you're still dragging around all that stuff. Yeah, absolutely. I understand. The thing that I heard when you were talking about that desire to heal and to help, and like Liora said, that's a birthright. We all want to. And you probably know this, but doing what Liora was talking about, letting go of worrying about, am I enough? What can I do? And being in the flow, allowing that circulation to maintain, the more that you become, that circulation of heart, circulation of divine energy, circulation of letting go, right? Circulation carries stuff out and brings stuff in, carries stuff out and brings stuff in. And so if you get into that flow, who you are being will have such an impact, right?
Yes.
On anybody, clients, friends, you know, yourself. And also trust. I just kept hearing trust came up, trust yourself. No trust that you can do it. Trust what is, Liora said. And the circulation, when the fear comes, don't try to resist it. They'll say, oh no, I don't want the fear. Accept it, right?
Okay.
Go, oh, fear's here today. Okay, hi fear, what are we doing? Where'd that come from? What do you have to tell me? Because it comes up because it's there and it has some kind of affinity still. So if we ignore it and lock it away, which is what we typically do, right? Oh, no, I'm not going to do that. I've been staying happy for 40 days now.
Yeah.
We want to be in a flow, right? We don't want to be like, I'm happy, damn it. Right? And so that more flow for you, more circulation, like that is trust and circulation. Trust the flow, trust that you are being. And the more that you trust that flow and look at who am I today? What am I inspired to do and share today? The more that the clarity, but also just that energy will emanate from you. And you have I guess I'd just call it a heart. You have a very powerful energy in this area. And it's almost feels like it's been compressed. It's been compacted down, but it's one of those super concentrated detergent, you know, you put a few drops in, it does the whole load. Right. And that's not uncommon for most of us. We shrink back. Oh, you know, I don't really want anybody to see me. I don't really want anybody to know. Maybe I'm not good enough. What if they see the truth about how terrible I am or whatever. Right. And so as you breathe and you flow, as you feel that circulation moving through there, that's going to sort of begin almost like if you drop, you know, like a Alka-Seltzer or something into water, the hard compactness of that part of you, which is very powerful, by the way, is going to slowly start to dissolve, sort of let it become more of you. Okay.
I thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Big hug, sweetie. Thank you
Thank
so much.
you so much. Thank you all for your energy. Thank you.
Yeah. Excited to see what happens. Woo!
Indeed. Indeed.
All right, Liora, Judy. Are you there, Judy? Let's see. Hey, Judy, let me see.
Unmute, please.
Oh, let me see that. I can unmute you or ask to unmute.
Yep. I think we have to make a request. Ask to unmute.
I did.
Unmute.
There you go.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Hi.
Hello, I'm so excited.
Yay.
The healing that I would love help with is, it feels almost like I'm not able to feel when, like, I can be surrounded by all this love energy and I know it's there, and yet I don't feel it in my heart. I know there's something going on with my thyroid, and something, and there's something going on my right, like, shoulder, like maybe where my angel wing would be. Like, I'll get terrible pain sometimes out of nowhere. Years of chiropractic, years of massage, years of stretching, and I don't know how to relieve it.
Okay, I might not be talking for a minute. I just want to work on your body, if that's okay.
Yes.
Getting interrupted. It's really very funny. You think you need to feel something in particular that you have in some sort of fantasy of what it's going to feel like in order to think that whatever it is true, rather than just knowing. It's very funny to me. It's just very funny. You can just know.
And I want to say, I know.
Of course you do. It's very, very funny. All right, just you can retire this fantasy feeling. All right.
Okay.
Bye. Ah, okay. So first of all, how's that on your right shoulder?
I don't feel it.
Okay, good.
Actually, now my right feels better than my left.
Okay. So I'll get to all that in a second, though. Here's
Okay.
I'm just gonna. I want to seal that off. Hang on.
Okay.
Okay. How's that?
Pretty good.
Okay. Good. All right. Thank you. So thank you. God, everybody, thank you so much for just letting. I'm gonna cry. Just thank you for letting me be with you. It's such a privilege. It really is. Okay. All right, let's just go back to the you do know. It's enough. Oh my God, it's enough.
Good deal.
There are many different avenues, ingresses, egresses with energy. Some people feel feelings like emotionally. Some people feel physically. Some people see energy. Some people hear. Some people are a montage. Some people smell. Some people you just know and you know that you know. Some people it just comes in from God who knows where, and it's like being way out on the like past the skinny branches because you're on like the edge of the tip of the leaf that's on the edge of the tip of the tiniest twig, kind of thing. It's fine. It doesn't matter. They all are roads in and out of. I mean, there's I don't know, people like I don't know, Linnea yesterday, my 20, she sees energy way more than I'll be like dead in 19 lifetimes from now before I could see energy the way that she does. Okay? It's so visual, all right? Not me. I hear, I feel, physically, I feel emotionally. Sometimes I just get a sense and knowing whatever it is. And I don't know, it just sort of dances around and however it comes is how you get it. It's not a good way or a right way or a better way. It's just, there's just these different avenues in and out. It's all the same source and you're the, channel and the recipient and all of that for just letting it be what it is, however it comes through you. Oops.
Okay.
Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, the visual I got was, don't throw a tantrum because you got red and you want blue.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
That's perfect. Yeah. That's exactly what it is. Yeah. I mean, okay. I could go about my life being like vision envy of my twinny, like from here to kingdom come. What good would that do me or anybody else that I'm trying to serve?
Right.
While I sit here and go, oh, I wish I could actually see that. Who cares?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. No, I get it. When I hear people talk about this wonderful feeling, I should just say, oh, that's great for you. And not say, hey, when am I going to get that? I get it. Yeah. I get it.
Yeah. And in your case, then there'll be people who can really see and it'll be like, wow, I wish I could just know the way you know. How do you do that?
Yeah.
I don't have knowing envy instead of vision envy.
Yeah. Click. Okay. Thank you.
And then the other thing is, and this harkens back to something that Fran, do you go by Fran or Franny or?
No, this is Judy.
No, not you. The beautiful.
Oh, Francine.
Francine. Mm. Yeah.
Yes.
You go by Fran or Franny?
Franny, yes.
Yeah, that's what it just kept hearing that. So,
okay.
Thank you. So what Fran was saying, but it applies here as well. And it's just saying yes. It's not like there is a vote of how you do it or anything. It's just saying yes. I mean, you sign up by saying yes. Somebody I read this something later on from, I think, Shay, yeah, later on, about being drawn to it. Say yes. If it's what you want to do, say yes.
Okay.
I'm signing up. I say yes. I as a personality, people who know me on here, Linnea and Alan, can attest. As a personality, I tend to lean very much to the shy side. It might not seem like it here, okay? But as a personality, I'm very much on the shy side of life and very insecure. I think I probably drive Alan crazy. And I'm always like, you know, there's the tendency to, you know, I think that was too tough, or I think that was too this or too whatever, or not enough, or whatever it is that I do as a personality. When I'm doing this, it's just, I said yes, and I parked whatever that ego stuff is that we were talking about before. I just said, yes, I will do this. Okay, I got this message not to lead a meditation, which is what Akasha originally asked me to do. I got the message, do healings, just do live healings, which I've never done it in a public forum, which I never did it in a public forum like this kind of an audience, but that's ridiculous. Of course I have. I've done it in person in a room. I've done it over the phone. I've done it at a distance. I've done, you know, whatever, trade shows, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Isn't that all public forum? I mean, I'm like nuts in my head like everybody else. So it just meant saying yes.
Okay.
Okay, those angel wings, Judy, just say yes.
When you said yes, I feel it here.
Yeah, I have something on the, I can't remember, is it the right side with your thyroid? Left side. I had left side on your thyroid. It was the first thing that came in on me, on your left side. That's what I got. Oh my goodness. That's not possible. Excuse me. Wait, oh, I know what to do. I should put
Like
this
angels are calling.
I say yes.
Answer that phone. Say yes.
It's really that simple. You know, it doesn't, I read all the time. I'm like nuts in my curiosity. I'm just like insatiably curious. I'm constantly reading. I love learning, love.
Yes.
Okay. And you know, I have a higher degree and blah, blah, blah. None of that buys anything. It doesn't buy squat. I swear to God, it doesn't matter when you come into this. It's what you do with it once you have. It doesn't matter how much education you have or don't have. It matters what do you do with it once you got it. It doesn't matter what your background is economically or socially or religiously or country-wise or sexual orientation or anything that anybody could identify as a label on how we label people. None of that matters. All that matters is that you say yes. And then what do you do with it once you got it?
Okay. And that's from my left side of my thyroid?
Yeah, it's on there.
Say yes. Okay.
Just say yes.
Thank you so much.
I feel like a Nike commercial.
Yeah.
It's
Also, are you feeling this, Liora? It's very much connected to saying yes to your intuitive and subtle energy abilities. You know, so it's related to this sensation that you don't think you feel, because it's the thyroid has so many functions in the body, right? And there's no balance without it. And things get, you know, sideways. And so there, you seem to have a lot of trust in your, you know, ability to do stuff, the ability to think, be in your head, make things happen, you know, take action, and less trust of allowing the balance of the feeling, the idea that your feelings, whatever they are, or what you don't think they are, or whether you think you feel them or not, there's some kind of block to that trust of that. And the first thing that I saw, Judy, when you were talking to Liora, was this thing looked about, I'd say, a foot, an energy that came right out of your crown up here partially you're in your head too much. It's a common problem, right? But you're trying to figure out, why don't I feel, you know, and I want to feel, and like Liora was saying, that other person felt this, and why don't I feel this type of thing. And everybody receives information differently, just the way Liora was saying. And it changes and grows, because in the beginning, I didn't see visions at all. Now I'm extremely visual. And it took me decades, you know, it was ridiculously slow. Right now, the beauty is everything's accelerated. And so these things are opening and developing. But the fact that you're trying to figure it out, and there's this thing on your head, like, you know, looking for it, right? That's keeping you from actually relaxing and just watching. Like seeing and watching the energies come. How do I perceive them? How do I receive them? Oh, that was interesting. I wonder what that was. And almost redefining whatever that means for you, because you're very unique.
Okay. Thank you so much. So much gratitude for you both.
I have one more piece that I'm just going to go for it. So there's a man in your life you're really angry at, and you haven't been talking about it because you're afraid of what'll happen if you express your anger.
Really? Could that be in my subconscious? Could it be my dad? Do you get a yes?
That's what I got. So yeah.
That might's my dad? You know, I love him. I love him. And the poor guy is so stuck in Catholicism. He's so afraid for me. And I don't know how to, I've told him, Dad, I'm fine. I talk to Yeshua every day. But I think he feels I'm making fun of him. Honestly, I don't know how to talk to him, so I just try and love him. But the anger, that must really be buried, because I'm not feeling it come up now, but you feel it pretty strongly, huh?
I do. I actually, when Akasha was talking, I really just was like trying to open that up and help to dissipate all of that. And
okay, the picture I just got in my head now, for someone who doesn't see, is yeah, you know, when I was very young, I told my mother something. Why do you play favorites? There's 5 girls. And she put her hands on my throat and didn't talk to me for a month, and my dad made me apologize. I think there's little things where I had problems with my mom. My dad didn't stick up for me, and I wanted to say, hey, where were you? Could that it? Because that's the only thing that came into my head right now.
Thanks.
These old things.
So talk to him.
Do I have to talk about that? I can't just forgive it? And
actually, you can forgive it.
Yeah.
It would be valuable for him if you talk to him and say, I just want you to know that was going on with me, and I forgive you.
I tried that with my mom, and she looked at me like I was crazy and said, well, I don't know what your problem is. Thanks for forgiving me. I'm a little nervous about that. I'm really going to.
It doesn't matter what he responds.
I was afraid you were going to say that.
In reality, no matter how he responds inside of him and in his consciousness, it will give him a gift, because he knows. It's not like he doesn't.
Yeah, you're right. I don't want to go there.
He's also not.
It's not my problem.
No, I said he's not your mom.
Oh, yeah, I know. Thank God. Okay.
Yeah, and then also remember that this thyroid and everything, that's in the throat chakra, which is communication. It's your connection to your higher wisdom. It's a connection to higher truth, and it's where we express our truth. And so, you know, you could practice not talking to him physically, right? Practice it until you feel it flow, so it doesn't get stuck here, right? And practice, because there's a way to say these things that is healing, and there's a way to say these that is blame. But like Liora said, we can't take responsibility for the way other people react. However, we can take responsibility for how we express. And so it could be a very loving thing. Like the other thing that I was getting when Liora was saying this was that your mother gave you experiences, and other women in your life, that made it feel not safe.
Right.
to be fully feminine, and the need for that masculine energy to protect you the way that we were told it should, and that didn't happen, right, was like a break of trust. And this isn't a break of trust in reality with either one of them. This is for you. And so this is very much about that, trusting yourself, trusting that you can express yourself, that you can feel. And it's also where you stuffed some of that sensation of feeling. I don't want to feel that. It's very profound. I call them agreements, the decisions we make when these things happen, especially as a child. They're emotional. The people who are supposed to love us take away the love or do something scary. And then we go, oh, I don't ever want that to happen again. I will never speak up. I will never do this. I will always be that. I'll be the best little girl. Those are the patterns that I see constantly and have been wading through for 59 years myself, right? And so there's a lot there around that, a lot there.
Wow.
In your case, part of what's there, Judy, is I'm going to prove to you how great I am, and then you're going to realize what you missed.
Yes. Wow. I felt that. Yeah.
And I also want to answer your question, do you have to? The answer is unequivocally no. You do not have to.
Yeah. I mean, I absolutely want to do anything I can for his soul's journey, play my role and play mine, because I very strongly am trying to balance the divine feminine and masculine in me and share that. I absolutely want to do it. I will really sit with this in love and choose the best words that I can, because I truly have nothing but love for this beautiful soul who's struggling right now, who's really struggling.
It would be pretty cool for him if you got him off the hook.
It would. And that I would lovingly do.
Yeah, it's a great way to reframe it, right? But I would definitely be with it, practice it in your mind, practice it in your energy field. How would I express this? I love you so much. I care about you so much. And, we do a lot of things in our lives, and there's this thing that happened, and I felt this, break with you over this. And I don't want that there anymore. I want us both to let it go. I want you to know I don't blame you anymore. And I want, whatever, like if you do it a few times yourself in meditation or out loud by yourself, and allow yourself to, you're going to get the energy. I can feel it building in my stomach. Ooh, sick to my stomach. Right? Yeah. And do that, because if we just go dive into something like that and try to do it without playing with the energies and seeing, because that's going to interact with him on an energetic level. And then if and when the time is right and you feel like saying something out loud, like Liora said, you don't have to, but you will, because you'll know.
I'm so grateful you two found this and brought it up for me to release. Truly, I feel these tears and something that definitely wants to come out.
Good.
You might also want to try meditating. Of course, that's the drum I beat all the time. So, but you might want to just try meditating and forgiving him in meditation.
Okay, absolutely. As soon as we hang up.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Judy. Big hugs. All right. We're going to just do a quick cleanse before we move to Julie. And Julie says she can't unmute right now, and she's open to whatever it is that you have to work with her, Liora. But I just want to, what?
It's unmute. Don't you have a thing you click on with the microphone?
Oh, it might be something in her environment right now, right? That somebody's there or that she can't.
Actually,
I don't know what it is.
that shifted and I can speak.
Oh, there's Julie. Yay, honey. So just a minute, Julie. First, I just want to do a cosmic cleanse for everybody, because so much stuff has just come up and my belly is just blah, 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 blah. So we're just going to invite the violet flame to come up and just through us. And then a violet green ray down. And the violet flame up. Good. Okay. just clear the space because we've had so much amazing things come up. Great. All right, go ahead, Julie.
Well, what I said still stands. But if you have questions or want to speak with me, I'm able to speak now.
Well, there you go. I don't remember what you said. You're looking for healing, reading. What is it that you want?
Healing, absolutely. And, whatever you pick up that's optimal for me right now.
Okay. Are you bedridden?
No.
Okay. Do you sometimes have desires to be bedridden, like just take yourself out of the game? Like it would just be easier than having to do what do?
Sometimes, yes.
Yeah.
There are. I spent months and months last year taking care of my parents and then my mother. I'm still the person basically in charge of her well-being now, just Alzheimer's and is in assisted living. I came home and had a few months to start to heal and recover. And my daughter, who has neurological issues that cause hypersensitivity to light and sound, moved back home. And so basically now I'm her caregiver. Meanwhile, my creativity's exploding. All I want to do is to write, to embody my writing, to be a channel for healing and love and light and wisdom. And here I am feeling caught in the middle of these two women I adore.
Yep, I got it.
And not be bedridden, just to somehow be able to check out of all of that.
Yeah. Okay, part of this, Julie, is, wow, get like a dose of Judy in you. She's highly organized, that woman is. Really just make it known that you carve it out a certain time, whether it's an hour or 2 hours of time every single day. I hear starting with 1 hour, just 1 hour that's yours. It's just yours. Sit down and write. It's going to be like everything else. You're not going to finish. But when the hour's up, you go back to what you're juggling on your plate right now. You take that hour every day. It's a public conversation. Just let them know I'm not available from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. I'm just not available. Or whatever. Okay. I made the time up, but you pick a time that works for you.
Right.
We're there. So lucky to have you. It's like you're walking on eggshells all the time.
Yes.
Yeah.
With both of them.
Yeah. Oh boy. So the other thing I'm picking up with that is it's kind of living for you like there are too many times when it seems like you just can't do anything right. You can't say anything right. It's okay.
No, I can't.
Breathe. Breathing's not an option. Breathe. I don't want to have to climb through the screen and clean up the mess. Breathe. Um, the beat that's missing, you do in fact pour your love into kind of anybody. I don't want to just say your mother or your daughter, it's anybody. You pour your love into people. Except you haven't been pouring your love into you.
Yeah.
So you have some, you have some work to do.
Yeah.
You really do. You just have some good old-fashioned work to do. Okay, and this would be much of the pot calling the kettle black, so I don't want to sound like a hypocrite. If I do, I apologize. I'm going to say it now. This is somewhere in the order of takes one to know one. But I want you to start putting practices in your life. And I'm going to give you homework. Okay? The practices in your life, in addition to, this is not instead of, in addition to grabbing 1 hour a day to start with for writing, as your creativity is spilling over, I want you to do one thing every day. You can do more than one, but you have to do at least one every single day that pampers you. And I do mean pamper, like if it's indulgent to read a book for an hour, do that. If it's taking a hot bath, do that. If it means going for a walk all by yourself, do that. If it means cooking yourself a voluptuous meal that your daughter is welcome to eat, but really it doesn't matter if she does or not, it's for you. Do you follow me?
I do follow you.
Okay, so
I do follow you. And
I'm sorry, go ahead.
what my inner guidance is saying that I need to let go of the work and play at loving myself.
Yeah.
Find a way, a playful way to pamper myself every day.
Yeah. I mean, it's really like, I don't know where you live, but if I came and visited you, you would pamper me.
I would.
You would bend over backwards, stand on your head, spit wooden nickels through a hoop. You would do everything you could to make sure that I was so taken care of. You have forgotten. There's nobody out there. In fact, there is no out there. So if you would take care of me that way, take care of you that way, actually knowing that you taking care of you that way does take care of me. For real. Not as a theory, but really.
Yeah.
Okay. If it means sitting and self-indulgently watching 2 movies in a row with your headset on, with your computer, completely like hold off away from other people, do that. I don't care what it is. But make it something that's not per se about escaping, and rather what it actually is about saying, this would be a way that I could love me in this moment, and then do that.
Yeah.
Okay, because your thing has been, I need to escape.
Yeah.
And you don't want to die. It's not like you're suicidal.
No.
So bedridden came up. If I could just get sick for 3 days so I don't have to do anything for 3 days, would be great. That's actually one of your thoughts that I heard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So.
And that's mostly because that's the only reason that either of these 2 women in my life will accept as valid.
I got that.
Yeah.
Oh, well, whether or not they accept it, there's kind of,
Yep.
it sounds rather rough, I suppose, but it's really not. It really is, oh, well, they accept it, they don't accept it. That's not a factor in the mix. That's
Yeah.
where they live. And what they're not is accustomed to that this is part of the way life is, because it hasn't been. You've trained them that you are at their beck and call no matter what. Well, it's time to retrain your environment. Retrain your environment.
Yeah.
Okay. So you get to retrain your environment while you're retraining you. So before I give you any more homework, will you take this on?
Yes,
You promise?
I do. I
Okay.
give you my sacred word. I will pamper myself.
Thank
I will
you.
do one thing to pamper myself with loving kindness, as an act of kindness, not as an act of escape, every day or more.
Yeah.
And I already take time to write. I may not spend an hour writing at once, but my daughter doesn't usually wake up till now. That's why I wasn't able to speak before.
Uh-huh.
Our house is set up so that you can hear anything in the great room from her room where I am now. But even if it's 2 or 3 chunks, I will take an hour to myself to write every day, because that's what needs me the most.
Okay.
Yes.
So that's in place. And then you know, whatever it is, and you get to make it up new every single day. And it might be 3 bubble baths in a row, like 3 days in a row, and then you pick something else. I don't care. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But that you authentically pick something, like you get to stop long enough to breathe and say, what would pamper me now? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Then I'm going to give you other homework.
Okay.
And again, I'm going to ask you to promise before I give it to you this time.
You're sneaky.
No, I'm actually very upfront about it. But the thing to know, Julie, is that when you make this promise, it's not actually to me. It's really a holy oath. I swear to you, the promise you just made wasn't to me anyway. And I appreciate your sacred word, and I hold it as that. But it's not an identity or personality of me that's holding it. Although I am also as a personality, it's really making a holy oath. This is really between you and God.
I understand that.
Okay. So I have more homework for you, but I'm not going to give it to you unless you promise to do it.
You're upfront about being sneaky, is what you are. Yes, I agree, as long as this is all coming from source and I can say yes in integrity.
Okay, so here's the deal. You ask right now, is this coming from source?
Yes.
Okay, so do you promise to do this homework?
Yes, I do.
Okay, good. And thank you for asking for yourself. Okay. All right, you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, this 3 times a day. You're going to do this 3 times a day, no matter who hears you in your house. Okay. All right. You're going to go to the bathroom mirror. Well, you're going to go to the bathroom, close the door, or someplace that's as quiet as you can get.
Sure.
Okay. And close the door so that you are in private. Okay. You're going to look at this incredibly beautiful woman in the mirror. That would be you, by the way, despite your opinions. So you're going to look at the woman in the mirror, eye to eye. And you're going to say to that person in the mirror the following words in such a way that the person in the mirror gets it to her core. And those words are, I love you. And you're going to do that 3 times a day. So it's a total of 9 times. And you get to do this, I'm going to say again, you're going to talk to the woman in the mirror, eye to eye, in such a way that she gets it fully to the core of her. And let come up whatever comes up. The tears, the fears, the railing against it, the whatever arguments you have inside yourself about that, which you have a rather long list. Okay, you're going to let all of that come up as it does, layer by layer. It's not going to all come up at once. Okay, that would be good for it to not all come up at once.
I was going to say, I might drown in that. That's probably a good thing.
Okay, and you're going to do this for a month. 3 times a day, 3 times each time.
I can do that.
Yes, you can. Okay.
And I will.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I really do trust you. You are, in fact, trustworthy. Amongst many of your amazing, incredible qualities, actually. Okay.
Yes. Thank you.
Yep. Akasha, over to you.
Yes, Julie. Well, I know and love Julie for many years now. She's one of my light body students, and she is trustworthy. She's one of the best students I've ever had. She knows the work inside and out. She repeats it. She works it. She does all of that. And despite what you see right now, what Julie's going through, she has come from I don't even know how to describe it, 18 million miles, right, Julie, from where you were when we
At least.
first came to my house in Carlsbad. I mean, it's phenomenal. So I know that this is going to be a beautiful step, and I know that she's going to do it. So, and you have all your other tools to do that as well. And I just want to add one little thing, since I know you very well. When you said the creativity is coming, Julie is phenomenal. You can't believe the stuff that comes through her, the writing, and then you just hear her over there, click, 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 and then she performs it. She's just phenomenal, and it's overflowing, honey. It's the trachea here was like bright, and then there's just 2 blocks down the sides now. There's not completely boxed anymore.
Wow.
But it's like, right, like you said, it's just flowing, it's coming, it's flowing, it's coming. And so, you know, whatever way, you know what Liora said, but whatever other way you have to just let it flow, that's, you know, if by saying that I love you in the mirror, it's going to dissolve these things, and it's going to give more flow. So that will reveal, and just do some of your weaving, especially here, right? And open to letting it flow, not waiting to let it flow because you have things to do. Okay.
It's the first thing I do every morning now. I get up and pee and sit down and write.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And the other thing too is there's something about your forest, your friends. Yeah.
Yes.
That they're, you know, they want to get involved. So that
Ooh.
needs to, that needs to come back in.
Okay. So tell me, there are two parts of the forest that I'm connected to now. The one that I talked about before, where so much had been cut down and more has been clear cut. There's also a house across the street from me that's on a creek. It's being remodeled. It's been empty for a long time. They were having trouble with break-ins. The guy who owns it and is remodeling it came over, asked me to keep out. And I'm like, why don't you give me a key and I'll come sit here. I'll come be here. And I set my chair across from the mouth of the den of an otter, Nan.
Fantastic.
So my question is, do you have a sense of which part of this forest? Is it this part on the creek? Is it the part that's died in their spirits? I'm not quite clear. I wondered if you have a sense.
Well, the first thing I saw was big trees where clearing had been, but there's growth coming back, but small, right? Like you know, the flowers and the grass that comes back.
Right.
When you started talking about the creek, though, there's a power there, and the otter, wow, right? That's really phenomenal energy. Playful, feminine, right? Curious.
And my name, Otter Daughter.
Agile, that's right, Otter Daughter. So that's definitely another power spot for you.
Yeah, great.
Love you, sweetie.
Thank you. I love you too.
Thanks. All right, let's see if we can do a few more. Lucy, are you there? Yay.
Yay. What I want to know is what's keeping me from healing, what my blocks are, what's keeping me stuck. I have been dealing with health issues for 30 years. been getting really worse the past week. I'm going to the doctor, and I've been not wanting to get an MRI because I'm afraid of the radiation and the EMF. But I'm like down to the wire going, okay, shit or get off the pot, to put it bluntly. So there I am.
I'm sorry, I missed your name. What is your name?
Lucy.
Lucy. Have you been to see a functional medicine doctor?
Yes.
Where do you live?
Tucson.
Oh. Arizona is my favorite state in the union.
I love New Mexico, but
I do
I'm
too.
here.
I
Mhm.
love New Mexico too, but Arizona is like my heart home.
Oh.
I keep getting you need to see a functional medicine doctor, so you need a different one.
Okay.
Okay. There's something in Chinese herbal medicine that will, which I don't know anything about Chinese herbal medicine. There is something in Chinese herbal medicine, combination of things apparently, four different things that will help to balance your body. You've got like a raft of different stuff going on.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. That'll help to, it's kind of like it's been juggled out of place in your body. And it's kind of weird, but it feels like with this Chinese medicine, it's going to juggle it back in place. I don't know that it'll be all that comfortable, but it will help do the trick. So I think you need to find somebody who's really licensed as a Chinese medicine doctor.
Okay.
Be very careful. There are some acupuncturists who say they are, but they're not. I don't know. I'm supposed to warn you about that. There is a piece of you that apparently seems to think that you should be able to handle this.
Yes.
And this is gonna like harken back to the beginning of this whole session that we've been doing, which is there is no you and you're not supposed to do it by yourself. That is a myth. Please stop it. You're really not supposed to. And I know that you've had other people helping you, but it's you're like emotionally just knocking yourself upside the head for no reason. You're not supposed to be doing this by yourself. You never will. That's not to say you don't have lessons to learn, but that's one of the lessons to learn. You're not supposed to do this by yourself. You're not supposed to be able to handle this. You have it like, I'm supposed to be able to handle this. I should be able to handle this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's my mother talking.
Okay, well, your mother is perpetuating
No
a myth.
longer in charge.
I got her, but that voice is just perpetuating a myth that she learned.
Yes.
We have a cultural learning like that. Sort of a global cultural learning, but it is in fact a cultural learning. But it is a myth. You're not supposed, listen, here's the deal with that. You were not born a star, which would be light years away from anything else. You were born a human being. As such, you're born into a commitment of being social. But from the time that you and I are taught, like, you know, oh, come on, you can dress yourself. Or go ahead, you can tie your own shoes. You don't need me to help you.
Yeah.
You can pick out your own clothes. You know, you don't need me to help you with your homework. You do it. All these little things when we're young somehow got into us like we're supposed to do life by ourselves and handle everything by ourselves and have it all financially together by ourselves and organized by ourselves. And it's just, none of that's true, including our health.
Well, and my spiritual teacher of 20 something years just passed 4 or 5 years ago, and that's been a great void, and I have not found anyone as wonderful, awesome as she was.
Okay.
I
Um,
mean, she didn't have all the answers, but she helped me tremendously.
and that's amazing. Nobody has all the answers.
Right.
I tell my own students, if I say something that doesn't resonate for you, go find a different teacher or just leave that one or pocket it for later for another time. There's no way any one person is going to be a panacea for anybody else ever. Not in any relationship, not in a love relationship, not in a parent-child relationship, not in siblings or friends or teachers and students. It just doesn't happen. It's not.
Do you see anything else helping me with my eyesight? I've lived in a moldy home for about 8 years, and my eyesight has been very affected. I can't drive. And it seems
One thing is you really need to drink more water, for real. You don't do a lot of that. It seems like you have gone in and out of clean diets. Is that correct?
Yep.
Okay, clean up your diet. You actually do know what to do.
Okay.
Just do it.
Yeah, that's been very confusing. Yeah.
It's not confusing. It's just you haven't done it and like just stuck to it. Just stick to it.
Well, I did almost 2 years of just fruit. I was a fruitarian.
No. Balanced diet. I'm sorry. I love you. Balanced diet. Not extreme. Balanced diet. You can take out things like white bread, take out sugars, take out this stuff that makes sense, but you go off.
Well, that I already have. The only thing I've been back to is a little bit of wheat.
Yeah, don't do wheat.
Yeah.
Don't do wheat. You just go gluten-free.
Yeah.
You don't, and go light on carbs, not no carbs. Actually, no carbs isn't necessarily all that healthy, but go light on carbs. Okay. But eat balanced. We were given this amazing plethora of foods because we have an amazing plethora of foods. Like you're not supposed to be deprived. Yeah, you don't drink a lot of water. Let's do that. Get that in there.
Okay.
I'm going to be really graphic. When you pee, I want you to pee clear.
Okay.
Okay. If it's yellow, you're not drinking enough water.
Okay.
Okay. So in finding a functional medicine doctor, I want you to find there are actually more than one in Tucson.
Oh yeah.
Who have absolutely done miracles. I want you to find a miracle worker.
How do I do that?
Let's do some research, find out, like literally read the reviews. If it's like a 5-star review, but it's only 2 people who have reviewed that person, that's not the right person.
Okay.
Okay, you're gonna have to do some homework.
How about the one that I worked with when I lived here before?
No,
Okay.
I just have a no.
Okay.
I'm gonna say something really terrible, but they're sloppy.
Okay.
Whatever.
Is it a male or a female? Which one would be best?
I don't think that matters. I see that there are a few there. I mean, first of all, Tucson's a pretty ripe in the awareness department as a community. It's amazing. You're in a really good conscious place. But there are a number of functional medicine doctors, and I want you to go to somebody who's not new at it, where it's not a game with it. It's not just because it's their belief system, but somebody who actually knows how to produce miracles. You're gonna have to read. Okay, you have to like literally do your homework.
Okay.
Okay. So that's 1. 2 is the same thing in terms of Chinese medicine doctor. You're gonna have to, there, you have a number of them. You need to find one who's really a combination of things. I keep getting somebody who is an acupuncturist also, but it's the Chinese medicine piece of it that you need, and I think that one is a hymn.
Mm.
That one comes up pretty clearly as a hymn.
I have one, Dr. David. Does he feel like he's the one?
I'm not getting a clean yes on it. I'm getting kind of a maybe, but not like a clean yes, so I'll say no.
Okay.
I think, again, you're gonna have to find somebody who just really, really, really knows what they're doing. It's pretty clear that there's a combination of stuff for you to do. And you obviously can be highly disciplined, but it's really, I have nothing about an MRI, but yeah, it's really following. There's this fabulous Japanese expression that says, fall down 6 times, pick yourself up 7. So it's like that right now.
Yeah, it's been a long haul.
I got that.
Lucy, do you know how to do any truth testing methods?
I don't trust myself. I have a pendulum.
That's what I was getting, because I'll tell you the way that I do what Liora is telling you to do is I had to find an Oriental doctor for my partner, and I'm in Mexico. There's not a lot here, and there were 2 clinics, and I couldn't vibrate with them. So I did some reading and research, but I would pendulum. That's my favorite. Don't do pendulum if you're not really good at it, because you can affect it. Muscle testing, different, body compass is usually the easiest. If you email us at support@nanakasha.com, Donna can send you a little thing on how to do that. But I would suggest that overall, this would be a very good practice for you, is to get to where you have a trust, you can trust a truth testing method for yourself. Because then what you can do is you can, find these 3-4 doctors or whatever, and then you can do that. Take yourself out of the thinking, take yourself out of trying to pick and weigh things in your head after you've done the research to satisfy the logical side of you. And I actually found the most amazing person for Chris, but she wasn't even listed. She's, retired. She just does it out of her house. And I actually ended up finding an article by a local magazine that interviewed her a few years ago, and I had to hunt her down. And when I found it and then I tested, it was, these other ones no, or and this one was like, yes, 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 yes. Okay. So for me, that is my favorite way. Is I might do my research, I might do my thinking, I might do my meditating, and then I take it all off the board and I tune in, but only if you can trust. So maybe somebody else that is very good at that as well. But that's something that you want to become, because you're second guessing everything.
Yeah.
And when you first started talking about 30 years of healing issues, I heard the words trail of tears. Now, I know that relates to a specific to Native American thing, but this is for you. There's a trail of tears that you're dragging. You're dragging for a very long time.
Actually,
and that's what?
Lifetimes, plural. Lifetimes.
Lifetimes, yes, exactly. It's just long. It's just like you're dragging it, you gather something new and you drag that in, then the new, and it's just this long thing. And so unraveling that, because we all have a lot of things to unravel, takes, that patience, and not looking for the one person that's going to have the pill, but sort of like unhooking one thing and the next. So like Liora said, finding the functional doctor or the Oriental doctor, but going within and allowing yourself to say, I'm ready and willing, I'm open and receptive to release this trail that I'm carrying. And whether you know what it is, if it comes up, great. If it doesn't come up, great. And you have other tools that you can use for it. But I would give yourself permission. You don't have to drag that shit around anymore.
Hallelujah.
Yeah.
Hmm. And is there anything else emotionally that I may be resisting or blocking to this healing?
Attachments.
Yeah, yeah, a lot. That's why why I heard Trail of Tears.
That makes sense. Of course that fits. Yeah, attachments. You have attachments to a lot of good, bad, right, wrong, both in people, things, yourself. You have a lot of attachments.
Mm. Very true.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate you validating.
Yeah. And Lucy, like, like Leora's been saying many times today, don't be attached to it's resolving overnight. Don't judge yourself for why do I have to have this. I've been going through 4 months of healing right now. And I literally go, okay, I'm a homeopath, I'm a this, I'm a that, I have all these things, I'm doing it all. And that part of you that lets someone else help, but also that part that's like, I want it to be fixed, I want it to be over. Those are, again, more attachments, right? So like shedding and unhooking all these layers of attachments bit by bit and being present in the moment, remembering this is the moment and what can I feel now? And some of these things that you're carrying are very powerful. They're agreements that you made, but once you release the burden of the attachment or the agreement, the power is released, the energy is released. And for me, you seem like you don't have a lot of life force. You don't have a lot of flow. It's getting stuck here, and then, and there's all this stuff. So being more, okay, this is the process that I'm in. And today is beautiful because I'm going to find out something new or whatever it is. Okay. Wait, there's two of you talking. What did you say, Liora?
Lucy, I'd like to give you one access point for taking yourself a different direction with that.
Mm-hmm.
It's taking the beat, like taking a moment and allowing yourself to be in the wonder. Like stopping just long enough to go, oh my God, that hot air, but with the breeze moving, the feeling of the breeze with the hot air is amazing. You kind of past the season of the desert being in bloom, but the mountains in Tucson, they're just like, oh my God, I love the energy of those mountains in Tucson. That when you go to a store, even if somebody else has to drive you, and there is a clerk who is helpful, that it's not just the through gritted teeth, thank you, but I really hate that I need your help. And instead actually being in the wonder of how amazingly kind people can be. Like that.
Anything else, hon?
Lucy, are you still there?
Yeah, I kind of lost the connection and then it muted me, I guess. So one thing that's actually helping me, I had not thought of this in this way, but to let go of the attachments is someone gave me a reading in Fairfield, Iowa before I moved back here. And she basically told me I had like 3 years to live. And I've been really like angry that she said that to me. And yet I decided, well, I'll sit with it. I'll sit with it. Yeah, okay, I'll sit with it. It's pissing me off, but I'll sit with it. And
I just want to slap some people, I swear.
Yeah. I'm like, what?
Yeah. And so I decided, okay, I'll surrender to it. If it's true, it's true. If it's not, it's not. But it is helping me let go of the attachments. I did.
Okay. So I'm going to say there's no truth in that statement. I will also say, you know what? There are a lot of shams in this business.
Mm-hmm.
sad but true. There are a lot of shams in this business. And I say this to my own students, choose your teachers wisely.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I don't have an attachment that they should stay with me or that whatever I say is the truth or whatever. It really, you know, what comes through me is what comes through me, given however I'm vibrating, and that's going to be true for any teacher or psychic or whatever. But honestly, for all you know, your head tilted a funny way, and that person decided, I don't really like this person. I'm going to just tell them this for 3 years. And all that happened was you had a moment where you had gas and your face twisted up a little bit. You know?
Yeah, and I have had many, many moments where I've said, I don't want to be here. And maybe that's all she picked up. I don't know. But I mean, I finally found the gift in it of like letting go of attachment to even being on the planet. And today has helped me to see that was the gift. Okay, yeah, I do need to let go of my attachment.
I would totally be grateful to her for that. And then I would,
Yeah.
you know, the rest of it, you could just sort of like,
Yeah, fuck it.
yeah, basically. Yeah.
Well,
Surrender.
and Lucy, remember a couple of things. Like Liora said, you don't want to hand your power over to anybody, a healer, a mentor, a shaman, whatever. And so when somebody, that's the truth testing. There's this really important exercise for you to do, is to start to trust your own inner authority, right? To find that way to truth test. Because when we learn how to pendulum or do these other things, it's just in the real essence that's happening is more flow. You're allowing more of your truth to come in and you're trusting it. So when somebody tells you that, it's very upsetting. So to me, the gift was the anger that you had, the anger towards her, because it uncovered that anger was living in there. Who are you to tell me that? I don't want to die. Then the fear, right? Then the fear of death came up, and it's always a blessing when we let go of that shit, right? And then, you know, and then there's the double second guessing and then wondering and being on eggshells every single day. So the gift is, hey, are you going to give your power to this? Or are you going to use it to walk through, to let go of some of that shit? But definitely, you know, I don't even like doctors saying that, Western doctors who say that shit, because everybody has an internal choice. And when you're in energy medicine and you've seen the kind of miracles that a lot of us have seen, you just think, why would you tell someone that? And the only reason it's okay for the doctor to do it, supposedly, is they have this test that, well, we've seen everybody else who are at this point. But how many times have we heard of stage 4 cancer being reversed and everything else? So this is about you connecting to your own truth. It's a big underlying message in all of that.
Yes, I like that. Yeah, I've been on a roller coaster with that one. Big roller coaster.
Okay, so I would invite you to dog-ear the page as lessons learned from the sham I saw. And move on. There's no truth in that.
Yeah.
None.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Lucy. Thanks, sweetie.
Thank you. Blessings.
Oh, I would love to keep going. I'm sure Liora has something else to do today. And we've been going for 2 hours now.
I had the same thought. There was somebody who kept saying, I think it was Rio, said, may I ask a question or something like that?
Well, there's several questions on in here. Many people have said, Catherine said, thank you. I'm in gratitude for this session. I've got to leave. And thank you both. Thank you, Liora and Nan. I loved basking in your loving light. Gotta go. And Shea said, oh, Liora, you're heaven sent. Thank you for your willingness to share your love and light. Wow. And Francine said, gratitude. Nan and Liora, everyone, I have to get on another call. And Shea did ask a couple of questions on here. And Cheryl did too. Cheryl wanted to know, why is my energy all over the place when I try to get relaxed? I just feel like I should be doing something else. And so if you have a quick tune in to that, you could answer. And then I think if you want to respond to Shea, otherwise we'll start to close the circle.
I have 2 things. I'm reading Shea's thing. And first of all, Shay, is she still on here?
Let's see.
Can't tell.
No. Oh, yes.
Okay. That was a yes, I guess. Okay, great. Thanks.
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, good. Hi.
Hi. Thank you so much for like I said, your willingness to share your love and your light. And you too, Nan. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
First of all, you're welcome. Second of all, thank you. I really mean that. I'm going to dare to speak for Akasha, which I've never done before, but as well as myself.
Excuse me, that's my nephew.
Literally, we get to do what we do because of our love. And so I never take it.
Hang on a sec. We lost you for a minute. I went ahead and muted her. Say that again. We never get to what?
We never get to do what we do without you being who you are. And any teaching, I know this is true with Akasha as well as with me. Anytime we're teaching anything, even if we're teaching something we've taught before, it literally comes through us differently. It drops into us differently. It drops out of us differently. It's like new every single time. And there are new, there's like this constancy of evolvement personally. So it's internally, externally, within, without, all at the same time. There's just no end to it. And so I'm really grateful to you for enabling and enhancing this kind of a conversation in the world, this kind of healing in the world. It doesn't just change the vibrations inside of you and me, it literally alters the harmony and creates a harmony and a balance in the whole of the world. So we cannot not change everything. Everything we shift shifts everything. So thank you. Okay, and I am going to go back to that drum of meditation, 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 meditation as a practice, not as a once in a while thing, not as a fix. I mean, yes, once in a while, but, and yes, as a fix, but as a practice, practice the practice, practice the practice, practice the practice. It really makes a difference. If I do it from a science level on the brain, I'll just do the brain science piece of this. The amygdala is the fight or flight center. Your frontal lobe is where we learn new things. The hypothalamus is like the decision-making and emotional balancing part of our brains. And what happens when we meditate as a practice is that the amygdala literally physically shrinks. I think that's the coolest thing ever. It means it's shrinking the fight or flight center of your brain. You're not going to lose it. And if there is something genuinely to be fearful from or about, that will come up. But the natural inclination to do that, given whatever our training has been, either past lives that we've brought into this life or things that have happened from this life to this day, it literally starts to shrink that knee-jerk reaction of, okay. At the same time, it increases the emotional wherewithal. We end up having this ability to draw on more emotions. Like, I don't have to be happy or sad. There's a bajillion more emotions available for me. It's not necessarily just this binary. It's not a binary choice that it's either this or that. It's that there's a whole world available for me to be able to draw from. Like, the well is really endless. And at the same time, we learn better and we retain that learning better. It literally grooves the synapses faster and deeper. So my answer to start with really is meditate, 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 meditate. This is what I do. I'm a meditation teacher. Can I do healing? Yes. Do I do other things? Yes. But I will say my passion really is turning the light bulb on in people, in learning lots of life-altering techniques, one of which is meditating, but it is literally life-altering. It will change you. So that's one piece in terms of your energy being all over the map. One of the things that happens when you or I meditate as a practice is a natural, effortless, like literally effortless, ongoing centering, 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 centering. No matter what the personality proclivities may be, like I naturally lean to the world of shy, I can still go out here and do this, but I do this because as a result of meditating, I have the capacity to be able to expand whatever it is I am doing energetically so that I can receive you, touch you, be with you, and the blessing of that. So meditate as a practice. Part of meditating, this is going to segue into one of the questions that Shea posed, and I think somebody else did too, but I know in Shea's thing was about picking up another person's energy. When I teach meditating, I also teach protection. Absolutely, when we meditate, we are more vulnerable. It's just what it goes with the territory. So there are a number of protection techniques. There's prayer, there's invocations. Invocation is saying something, and to invoke is to literally call forward or call forth, call into existence. So my favorite one is like the most instant go-to for me is white light. I really do meditations, filling myself with white light, surrounding myself with white light. It is also what I teach. I don't think it matters what order you do that in. If you surround yourself and then fill yourself, fine. If you fill yourself and then surround yourself, fine, whatever. But white light really allows in what is in harmony with you and at the same time reflects off that which is not in harmony with you. That's the bottom line. And it's instant, it's a thought. It's the fastest trick, like in the world of tricks and pointers, it's the fastest trick I know, and it works. It's not a lot of words, it's a thought. White light, done. And part of learning to separate what is somebody else's energy, what are they feeling versus what am I feeling, what are they thinking versus what I'm thinking. There is a training of actually slowing down long enough to recognize. So at some point in my life, I was living in New York. I actually did the very long career of being an actress, singer, dancer for 24 years. It's fun because I get to bring those tools into teaching with me, which I think helps me be a better teacher. But I was walking home from a subway one day, and I am somebody who loves walking in the rain. Oh, I love walking in the rain. I love the feel of the raindrops. I'm still like a kid. I will stick my tongue out to catch raindrops. When I sometimes will walk for a while like that, like with my head tilted back and my tongue out to count how many raindrops do I catch on my tongue. I love the feel. I love the smell of rain. The smell just goes to the core of my body. I love walking in the rain. So I'm walking toward my apartment from the subway, and there was a man who was, I don't know, maybe 20 feet in front of me, also walking towards his, living in a very nice neighborhood in Upper West Side. And all of a sudden, I had this urge, this incredible urge as rain started to come down, just a few drops of rain, and I had this urge to run to the apartment to get out of the rain. So I started to run. The thing that was amazing is that the man in front of me started to run at exactly the same time. So our feet went from walk to run at exactly the same time, at exactly the same pace, and it wasn't me, I had picked up him. And when I saw that visually in front of me, so starkly, clearly there, I stopped. And I thought, that's really weird. I love walking in the rain. Why did I want to run in the rain? And realized that was him, not me. So I began a journey of separating not to separate me from anybody, because we really are one, and I don't want to be separate from anyone. I don't desire that. To the contrary, I desire to be able to connect everywhere with everything and everyone, really, truly. But to learn what is initiated, that is healthy or not healthy, that is me, that is not me, that is blend and flow, that is not blend and flow. Learning what that is means taking the time. It means taking the beat. I have a thought that is unlike myself. Is that me in this moment, or did I pick it up from elsewhere? I have an emotion that's not like my normal. Did I pick that up from me? Did I pick that up from elsewhere? Listen, in the pandemic and the lockdown, there have been a lot of feelings flying all over the map. It's very easy to pick up the angst of a lot of people being isolated. It's really an easy thing to do. I don't actually have that. I am by nature an introvert who can do extroverted things, but as it turns out, I could live in my bedroom for the rest of my life. So having the, oh my God, I just want to get out of here feeling is recognizable as not me. Does that make sense? So.
Yes, that makes perfect sense.
Okay. When I hear people who are really angry about the riots that are happening as a reaction to the reprehensible murder of a beautiful man in Minneapolis, and then the other things that have happened subsequent to that, including murders and bullying 14-year-olds in the rallies and things like that. I mean, it goes on and on. I hear it. I am somebody who actually, I can get it from all the different sides. This is not about condoning or condemning. There's a lot that could be considered reprehensible in all of it. But I also know that if I lived inside of where I have neutral, which I do for the most part, and then I have this emotional knee-jerk reaction to anger or grief and sadness that has gripped me, I know I have picked up something else, and it isn't me. I also know that we are far more effective in not only creating change, but maintaining change and evolvement when we have the evenness, when we are in reactionary mode. We just don't affect a lot of change. And that's okay. I'm okay with that too. It's just, if I really want to get something done, I'm not going to be doing it from a knee-jerk reaction place. I'm going to be doing it with love. I'm going to be doing it from a very even-keeled place. And then change does happen. And I have, in all honesty, done a number of things in my life that have literally created massive community change. Only because I came from love. And actually, that was one of the pieces in something that I talked about in a pub. It literally swayed the entirety of a vote on a board that I'm on. Because I said every single thing in my life that I have done out of fear has been a wrong choice. And every single thing I have done out of my life that has been a choice from love has been the right thing to do. And that made a difference. Everybody's vote shifted. So it's an observation rather than an opinion. I just know that's the way my life has gone, but I've also seen it in other lives. So playing witness in that way, I get to learn more and more and more when I'm having this, that's not like me moment. I've slowed down enough to recognize that's not like me. What am I picking up? I don't know that it matters so much where I'm picking it up from, but I do know that whatever it is, I can infuse that in a way that has a consciousness, conscientiousness, that is about, as Nan had said earlier, putting love in where love is missing. It's really easy to put love in where love already exists. We do that automatically. Then consciously putting love in where love is missing, whether it's in myself or ostensibly outside myself, somebody else, where there really isn't anybody else. But, you know, whatever that is, I can do that. I can look at political figures that I find to be a head-shaking wonder And I had to do a lot of work on me with our current president, to be straight up. United States president. I had to do a lot of work on me to be able to put love in where love was missing with him. But it doesn't do any of us any good if there's one more hateful, angry person walking around on the planet. So it's a combination of factors in this. Meditate, 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 really. Slow down enough to recognize, is that me, is that not me? And put love in where love is missing, honestly. Have you got anything better to do?
Thank you so much, sweetie.
Thank you again.
Wonderful. Thanks, Shea. Okay, so what I'm going to do is we'll close this circle. We'll close this beautiful chamber. I invite you to come back tomorrow. I'll be here at noon, not 12:30, and doing some more readings. And then I'll be back on Saturday for our last live event for this series. And but this is a beautiful segue into infusing yourself with love. So I want to add that I don't remember who said it. Somebody said recently, ask what love would do. And, you know, like what would Buddha do? What would Jesus do? What would Mother Teresa do? What would my dad do? Whatever, right? That whole concept. And ask yourself as you're reacting, whether it's to the frustration that you've been sick for 30 years, you know, that you don't feel emotions, any of the things that we've talked about today or seen today. We all go through these things and their stories are a little bit different. But if you said, what would love do when you're thinking about yourself, instead of judging or being frustrated? Or what would love do when you're reacting to things around you that are happening in the world? We know the world is shifting. Us weird woo-woo people have been saying this for a long time, and there's been hundreds of years and millennium of other people prophesizing this, and it's amazing to me that people are still saying, oh, well, I don't know about that. But no breakdown, no reconstruction can happen without a deconstruction. Metamorphosis is a complete liquefying of all form and shape and abilities and sense of direction and everything else. So when you see these things happening, do your best to bring this love back in. And we'll take a moment for you to really feel it, to breathe it in. Let it move through you. And do me a favor, if you don't have a states of consciousness form, you can get them on the internet. Ours, we'll be happy to give you if you want to email us, support@nanakasha.com. We've changed it a little bit to be a little bit more graphical, a little more understandable, but it is so profound to understand. Anger that's happening right now, is it justified? Yes. And yet, does that justify reacting with anger? No, because it doesn't solve anything, right? So when we react either in our own homes or we run outside and start breaking things or whatever it is, and again, I'm not judging anyone's reaction, actions, or anything. I'm standing over here holding love and acceptance for the breakdown that's happening right now on the planet. And there isn't anything better that we can all do except to unhook and detach and flush and cleanse and let go of our attachments, our beliefs, our thoughts, me, and who was it, Judy or somebody was saying I, or it was about, oh no, it was Francine, that, you know, Liora was saying was like, she's looking at the world through the way we were all taught. What about me? And this is about me, and how's this going to affect me? And this is about all of us and the planet, which is a conscious being, and the multiverses shifting to a whole new paradigm. There is no way to predict how it's going to happen. There's no way to say this was right and that was wrong. There's no way to say this person being elected was bad and this person wasn't. Sometimes what we perceive as bad or that inspires anger or blame or guilt within us is actually the most profound healing, because it opens up. So we've had almost 4 years now of a lot of really ugly energy coming up. A lot of it instigated by the current political scene and some other things. Is it bad that we've seen it? Well, to be honest, I'm glad, because it was there. It was already there. And so just pretending it's not there.
Yep.
Right? And so we were all walking around in a fantasy thinking, oh, everybody thinks like me and we're all peaceful, loving, wonderful people and nobody's a racist and blah, 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 blah. And we've got to rip that Band-Aid off and look at the wound and say, what is this wound and why is it still infected? This is not the time for this. And so we have to watch and then do our own thing, because this came up today too. What we think, what we say, what we do, what we touch, every single thing you experience every day is impacting everyone. You can't say, well, I'm going to be over here and be pissed off and not like that person, but I'm not adding to that. You are adding to that. But I'm also not telling you to stuff your anger or to ignore or go watch a lot of news. I don't watch the news. I hear plenty. Don't worry about it. Okay. But here's the thing. Master your own emotions, watch them, accept them. And if you get a states of consciousness scale, the state of acceptance is where you take your power back. What kind of power is that? Is it power over other people? No, it's power over what's going on inside of you. It's power over those emotions that come up and hang on to that shit from 50 lifetimes and drag it around and give you a backache or whatever else, right? It's power to let go. Okay, so look at a scale. Remember, if I accept I'm feeling anger right now, if I accept that I've been sick a long time, if I accept that these riots are happening and I don't like how they're happening, if I accept there's a breakdown and I don't know what the hell's going to happen or how I'm going to make money, if I just accept it, it is not choosing it, it's not agreeing with it, it's not condoning it. It is literally letting go of being attached to blame and guilt and anger, depression, and all the rest of that shit, which is too heavy to get any healing or lightening or realignment to happen. Because at acceptance, your emotional body goes into forgiveness. And I don't even like conversation around forgiveness because it's too emotional. Just think of it as letting go. If your emotional body let go, well, what about this and that person and this poor person and this isn't fair and that's not right. Okay, so your body and your mental body goes into harmony. You actually start to naturally think harmonious things. Does that mean that you're pretending this isn't happening? No, but you're starting to say, you know what? There's a purpose for this. That's breaking down. This is coming up. This is a new conversation. Wow, that wasn't good that happened, but look over here. Some of these new rules. This is going around the world. We have Native Americans taking down statues of Columbus and the police are leaving them alone. Okay, we're watching a shift in consciousness and we're a part of it. And so if we go into that harmony, guess what happens to our energy and everything around us? We transcend. We transcend the anger and the blame and the guilt. And then you can begin to transcend the patterns and the pains and the lack of circulation. And then the beautiful thing is at the end of the scale, right there, each of the things on the scale begins with the state and ends with the ultimate state of that level is compassion. And compassion, again, isn't judging right or wrong. It's not trying to figure it out in your head. It's a state of being. If we all went into that, regardless of what happens, you're going to have clarity in what to do next for you, what doctor to pick, what to think today, how to become the healer or the helper or the beautiful being in your own world, how to create the next thing. But we're in a breakdown and we're in a cleanse, and a breakdown is as good as a breakthrough. Right? So be acceptance for yourself and for the rest of us, and then keep that focus past where we are now. Not just, oh, this will pass. Let me get distracted for a while. And sometimes we do need some distraction, but accept it and really realize, wow, I'm here right now. Damn, I rock. The fact that you and I chose to be here, that means we rock. Like on steroids. How many people bailed? How many people did their stuff and got out before this happened? How many people want to be here right now? How many souls, how many beings wish they could be here right now to experience what we're experiencing? So we got to let go of what we think should be and what we think has to be, what we think isn't right and what we think is right, because you know what's right in your heart. And when you put love in where love is missing, when you say, what would love do right now? Why don't I just accept this? Then you're so much closer to love. Love is just a few states above acceptance. Whereas when you're at anger, you're way down here. And if you're at blame, you're down in guilt. And there's no way to have any real energy to lift yourself. So, you know, we were talking about healing in the beginning. Liora goes, well, I don't heal. I'm the channel for that. I'm here for that energy to come through. What a healer, quote unquote, an energy healer really does is practice raising their own energy, cleaning their own field, and empowering their field to carry the higher frequencies and then lift you up when you're with them or near them or talking to them to that state. And it doesn't take effort on my part to do that if I have taken the time to do my own work to be at that state to lift you. And so if you want to help the world, like Liora said, this is a birthright, and you are here to be through this experience. You are here to heal personally. You are here to be a part of what is happening and a part of where we're going. Mm-hmm. So if you said, wow, I'm going to be love. All right, I wrote a book several years ago called Be Love. And I can't think of a better thing to say is be love. That's just what's happening right now. What do I be? What do I do? Be love. Just be love. And I don't know how. I don't know what that feels like. That's okay. Just say, I'm going to imagine it. I'm going to let go and allow love to be what speaks through me. Okay, so let's take a moment to breathe in this beautiful healing chamber. Breathe in all this beautiful energy and love and delightful sparkling energy that Liora has brought to us. Breathe in the beauty, this incredible kaleidoscope of all of you incredible beings who are here, bringing with you all of these nuggets of gold and all of these huge heavy baggage, and everything about you has come into this space and enriched it. And now let's just tune into that gold ray, which has been, wow, pulling out so much energy for us and is now radiating in. In your heart, I give myself permission to be love in any moment. I give myself permission. I'm ready and willing. I'm open and receptive to accept what is and rise up, transcend. And from here, I can open that door within me to that pure love. What would love think? And you feel this infusion. You can use this code 132033. This is the frequency of source divine love. 1323, 1323, 1323. 13, excuse me. 1333. Open something. I was going to say open your heart, but what I saw was open whatever part of you is ready and willing right now to let the love infuse deeper and deeper and deeper into your mental body and into your emotional body. Into your physical body, and all the way down. And just decide within, I accept what is. I accept this love infusion. I accept this beautiful moment together with all of these divine beings, these soul sisters and brothers. And I accept the shift and the cleanse and the realignment and the freedom that I've been gifted with today. And I accept, let go, come into harmony with, and bring compassion to all parts of the world, from the core of Earth through all layers of her body, to the plants, the waters, the rocks, the animals, into the trees and the insects, and into all the people. Allow yourself to be a channel for this beautiful acceptance and gift it out. Feel that tension, that stress beginning to waft up out of all of us, the confusion. And now look in your heart. What is the number one heavy emotion or state that's inside of you right now? If it's anger, say, I accept you, anger. Come in and talk to me. I'm going to accept you, come into harmony with you, let you go. So all the energies that aren't mine, and all the energies I no longer need, and all the energies that no longer serve me can melt away, and I can see what is at the core of that. If there's frustration or fear, accept it. If it's guilt or blame, shame, depression, grief, accept it. It isn't you, but it is a part of you right now. And it has a message. And now let this love infusion go deep into that. Injecting, beginning to dilute the anger or the fear. And slowly, there's more love, less anger, more harmony, more trust. So breathe it in and let it move through your body. Now feel that love coming down your hands. Feel them tingling. Feel the light beginning to shine from your fingertips. And now accept that you are a channel for love, for harmony, and that you can direct it into your life, into your mind, into your body, into the earth, into your house, into your family, into any place on the planet. No expectations, not trying to fix, not trying to change, just pure acceptance, the doorway to love. We give great thanks for this moment, this gathering, for all these beautiful people, for the divine and amazing Liora, and for everything that was released, shifted, everything that was recovered, discovered, everything that was unhooked, everything that was understood. We give great thanks to the gold ray, the flower of life, the white light, the all-seeing eye, the light body council, everyone and their light bodies, their higher selves, body elementals, and I am presence, and all of those divine energies, animal spirit guides, our ancestors, all of the celestials and the elementals, for helping us to take this energy with gratitude into our day, with every step, with every breath. with every look, with every touch, with every thought, and with every word. Be love. May this circle be open yet unbroken, and the love that is the truth go with us. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, beautiful Liora. Is there anything else you want to share with us, hon?
Really want to thank you. I'm so grateful to be with you and to be with these people, everybody who's been on here and is still on here, and feel just privileged and blessed. And thank you.
Thank you. Hey, we almost did 3 hours again. That's our thing.
Yeah, like shorter than that. Great.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a beautiful and blessed day. Please share this and let us know how else we can be of service. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
I love you.
Love you.
I love you.
Love you.
Everybody. I love you.
Love you too. Bye-bye.
Bye.